Once again, a big thanks to Gavin Hunt and welcome back to The Beat Goes On. And before we talk to our special guest, we have winners to announce from last week's show. 4 lucky viewers have each won a copy of the 4 books we featured last week with Ian Wishart. From the draw, Philip Creed, Steve Morgan, Karen Pivot and Brenda Hayward. Congratulations to our 4 winners and stand by your letterboxes. And right now it's time for that time when we talk to our special guest. Tonight's special guest is Gavin Hunt, well known as the owner and founder of Signature Homes. And Signature has just celebrated their 30th anniversary as home builders, a great achievement by a baby boomer and a mad keen Neil Young fan. Gavin is here tonight to help us through the craziness about building consents, permits, land banks and council restrictions. We welcome Gavin Hunt as our special guest on The Beat Goes On. A big welcome to Gavin Hunt. Gavin, 30 years in the business, in the building industry. Wow, that's salute.
It is our 30th year, yes.
And, well, many of our viewers, of course, know you because they see you on Television 1 and Television 3, of course, advertising Signature Homes.
That's right. Yeah.
And you're in the business of being a group builder.
Yep.
A group builder.
Yes.
So what's the difference between Joe Smith down the road and having a group builder?
Well, apart from the size, I guess it's the offer, the product that you offer to the customer, Jared. It's usually a fully inclusive package, right from sometimes the purchase of a section all the way through plans, consent and compliance and building the home. So generally the group builders tend to offer a fully inclusive package.
Is it a better world now with group builders than it was with Bob Johnson, the builder down the road that you knew and you went to church with him, etc., etc.? Yeah.
It's a different world now, Jared. Building a home and all of the activities around it are way more complex than they used to be. When I first started as a kid out of college, I was a QS and a draftsman, and to get a permit, you generally had either 2 or 3 sheets of drawings, and these days there's probably 25 to 40 sheets of drawings. So if you're going to, for instance, use a private builder but get your own plans done, well, that's a huge exercise all on its own, and it's perilous because you're getting the plans done and you haven't got them priced yet. And so you might give an architect or a draftsman a budget, but whether you can achieve that or not, you won't know until after your plans are done and it's been out around the traps, and being priced.
Now you get up in the morning and what's the first thing you do?
Read the paper. Read
the paper. And what are you reading the paper for? Signs of impending disaster or signs of impending joyousness?
No, the business and the sports news, essentially, I read the paper for. So with a cup of tea, it's a nice way to start the day.
And what do you think of our wonderful, speaking of sport, our wonderful achievement of the Black Caps recently? I know we're going right off track here, but we're digressing. But your feelings about our wonderful Black Caps?
Oh, well,
I'm always talking about them.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I couldn't be accused of being a fair weather friend. I'm a great fan of the Black Caps and a great fan of the Warriors. So we have our ups and downs, but it doesn't lessen the passion. I think the Black Caps do really well for a very small player base against some huge nations. So, I think we do well.
But the big question today is, you're in the business of, and this includes baby boomers or new people wanting to build a home. Sometimes they see that many problems out there with permits and leaky homes that they might say, why even bother to build a home? Why don't I just go and buy an existing one? So what's your answer to that?
Well, apart from being able to build where you want to, I guess the main attraction, Jared, is to build the home that you want.
Yeah.
And it's also
the kitchen you've always dreamed about.
That's right, the kitchen you wanted, the bathrooms, the master bedroom, the indoor-outdoor. And something that shouldn't be underestimated, that's a real buzz when people first walk into their own new home and it's brand new. It hasn't been lived in before. And
do you try and be there most of the time when that happens?
Well, certainly our builders are there. I'm not there all the time because we're building them all over New Zealand. So, but when I ran a franchise, I did. Yeah. Oh, it's a wonderful. It's time. Generally, it's time for celebration.
Who actually buys the home? Is it the husband or the wife?
Well, it's a silly man who who buys the home without his wife being very involved in the process. I will say that neither you nor I would be that silly, would we?
So really we should just send the wife along to buy the home, do you
Well,
think?
the thing is, this may sound a bit sexist, Jared, but often the wife spends more time in the kitchen than the husband, and
She wants to make that kitchen just
it's going
what
to
she's
work for
dreamed
her.
of. Yeah.
It's got to work for her, and so you'd be crazy not to let the wife have her say on that. And often, the guys tend to focus a bit more on the outside. I mean, once again, this probably sounds a bit old-fashioned, but it still appears to me to be correct that, the guy will be looking after the outside and the wife, she knows what she wants inside the house, whereas the guy can often be a bit more relaxed about that.
Gavin, you're in here today because the news is full of Christchurch and its permits problems, Auckland's land banking problems, all sorts of different things are going on. It seems to be in a bit of a turmoil at the moment, owning your own home in New Zealand. But is it a bit of a media bust-up, or is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure you should believe everything you read in the press, Jared. You being a media man may know that, but I'm not saying that it's easy either. Nor is buying an existing home easy. If you're out in the market for that, people are having great difficulty getting something that at what they believe is the right price to suit them. So, as I say, I'm not saying that it's easy, but we're building a lot of homes, and there's a lot of happy people out.
Yeah. So, what's your point? What do you think Signature's point of difference is?
Well, I think number one, you've mentioned. Well, not number one. There's a whole series of things, but our 30 years in business.
That's a good record.
If you're not doing it right, you don't last 30 years.
Yeah.
Perhaps the main point of difference at this point, Jared, is that without doubt Signature Homes has got the best guarantees in the market in New Zealand. So our building guarantee is just a straight unconditional promise to complete your home, or guarantee to complete your home if for any reason the builder can't complete it, and that's backed by a bond which is held by a third party, which is the ANZ Bank. And so, the funds to do that are over there. They're separated from the building company. It's a separate company that holds them, and as I say, they're held by the ANZ under some strict rules. So.
Well, that's fantastic, because we've seen some terrible stories on the television news about people, they've spent all their money, the builder's gone.
Yep.
And
they're left high and dry.
How are we going to do? So, but that doesn't happen, of course.
No.
But, well, if you're doing that, why aren't the rest of them doing it?
Well, a lot of them use the master build guarantee, which we used to use, but I think it's well known that it's not a overly strong product. So we wanted to be able to offer our clients something which gave them total security. So we went out and rode our own boat on that, and it's been a huge success for us, and our clients love it.
I'm reading in the paper about all this problem with permits, and the Christchurch Council, Bob Parker, I mean, I think that's a loss. I thought he was a wonderful mayor. It's finally got him, hasn't it? And is that just an isolated case, or what's it like getting a permit in New Zealand with the, there's an act called the Resource Management Act, isn't it? Is it a nightmare, or?
It depends. It's not a one case fits all. Sometimes it can be very difficult, and some territorial authorities are better at managing the process than others, so it's not, Christchurch is not isolated in having difficulties. I was talking to one of our builders this morning, and he's expecting a very straightforward home. He's expecting it to take 30 working days to come out of the authority, so that's far too long. Originally the government prescribed 10 working days. Well, and I'm not saying that's every authority either, but that's one that's outside of Christchurch.
Is there a perfect couple that walks in? What's the perfect couple that, oh gosh, I'm going to enjoy this from your point of view?
Well, everybody's different, but I have always enjoyed couples who know what they want and are quite fastidious about what they want in their home, because we can then set about fulfilling their requirements, and if they're careful and they know everything that's going into their home, they know everything that's included in their offer, and so we have very few problems going down the track. If you have customers who are a bit more casual, it sometimes can be that they didn't fully understand what is and what isn't included and that sort of thing, and then you can have an issue. So I guess the closest thing resembling a perfect client, Jared, would be folks who know what they want and are careful about getting it. People actually want their home built well, and they usually appreciate that you know, it takes time to build a good home. So as long as they understand their expectations right, and you know, before they enter the process, then generally there's no problems.
So what's the average size home that Signature would build? I mean, is it around about the 500,000 mark, or is it?
In terms of dollars, no, it's more like closer to the $400,000 mark.
That would be your average home in New
That's
Zealand?
No, it's not. In terms of the group builders, we've got the highest average selling price than any of the other group builders, which suggests that we build larger homes. But you know, I want to make it clear that we're very strong at the lower end of the market as well. You know, the standard plan end. Over recent years, we've got very strong offers in that end of the market. So, you know, we pretty well cover the whole thing in terms of the volume builders.
Now, let's say you've got a section in Auckland. Your homes, you're a baby boom. It's getting on a bit, and it really hasn't got a lot of value. Knock it down and start again. You've got a policy on that, haven't you?
Yes, we've got a product that we've had in the market 6 or 7 years now, knock down and rebuild, KDR we call it. And that's perfect if you love your location but not your home.
Same telephone number, same address.
That's
Don't have to do all that.
Same school for the kids, or same location near work or leisure, whatever it happens to be. So our product, we either demolish your home if it doesn't have value, or else we sell it for you and remove it and build the home. So that's all in one contract again.
What are us baby boomers? What are we ordering now? Are this smaller homes? Are they?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I think since the GFC, you know, people are a bit more cautious.
Yeah.
And you know, they may have been building 350 square metre home with a triple garage and things, and at now, you know, it might be 250 square metres and double garage, and they're just keeping a bit of money in the bank just for safety's sake, and you know, that's a smart thing to do.
And what about yourself, Gavin? You're a baby boomer, aren't you?
Yes,
What was the magic year that Gavin Hunter entered the universe?
1951.
1951.
Yeah, way after you, Jeff.
Gavin, that's not true, but I'll let it slip by. Loved the Beatles.
Loved the Beatles.
Yeah.
The Stones.
And anybody else who was your particular favourite?
Neil Young. I'm what's known as a Nelophile.
A Nelophile.
Yes. Yeah.
Harvest Moon, was it?
Yeah, that was one of his albums and one of his tracks.
He was here recently in New Zealand.
Yes,
I know we're digressing, but we're talking about...
Mate, I love all sorts of music. So,
So, Gavin, we've got to finish now, but great to have you come in today, because it's in the news at the moment about permits and building, and thank you for clearing a few things up. It's obviously never as bad as they say it is, but what about if one of our baby boomer viewers said, I like that Gavin Hunt, I'd like to talk to him personally. I've got a few ideas that I'd like to build a house, and they don't want to just talk to anybody, they want to talk to Gavin Hunt. Is that possible?
Of course it is.
You'll take a call?
Absolutely.
What about a phone number they can give you a call?
I'll give you a mobile, Jared. 021.
021, okay, I'll write it down.
755 65.
75565. Now, that's not saying that the guys in the franchises aren't doing a great job.
They are doing a great job.
They are doing. It's just that it's nice to talk to somebody they saw on TV.
Absolutely, or else there's 0800 signature, or else they can send me an email through our website as well. So.
Now, Gavin, every guest always gives away something. Like Max Cryer was on last week and gave 3 of his books. Could we give a signature home away this week? Is that possible?
Let me think about that one, Jared.
You think about that one.
I will.
It'd be a great one.
How about a magazine? A signature magazine.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Bye. Thank you, Gavin. The Beat Goes On. We'll be back after the break with Tony Astill, Master Chef from Antoine's Restaurant in Parnell.